got a swarm hidden in there, huh?
This one will be pleased to show you.
Let's keep it locked up, shall we?
Round one, fight.
Jacqui Briggs is one of the strongest pressure characters that we have access to in Mortal Kombat 11. She has access to some of the fastest mids. She's got access to free string cancels in her first round KO variation. And today I want to go over with some of you guys who are interested in playing Jacqui and finding problems maximizing her damage in Combat League, how to get that damage by taking full advantage of her crushing blows. Now, from what I've noticed in my personal Combat League play, she has 3 crushing blows that you're really going to be using almost all the time. I get them about every game, and the list specifically for her are these 3 here. Jacqui Briggs has access to a 3-3 string, which on counter hit will give extra damage, crushing blow, and pop up for combo extension. She's got a clinch crushing blow for her elbow specifically that will do the same as the previous one. What's important to note for the clinch crushing blow is that to fulfill the requirements to activate it, you need to do every other possible ender she has out of clinch. For example, she has 3. The first one would be knees, which is going to be your 3 option. The second one would be her suplex, which is her 2 option. And if you've done both of those in the match already, the third one, which is the elbow and is her 1, will crushing blow on hit, and again give you extra damage and pop up for combo extension. Last but not least is her bionic dash, which on hit from max range will crushing blow the opponent for 24% damage. Since that is one of the harder ones to set up, I want to go over some of the setups for that first. So let's look at her options to guarantee her bionic punch. It's very important to note also that if you want to practice her bionic punch setups in the lab, that you have your easy crushing blows turned off, or else you will not know for sure if you are actually hitting them from max range or if they're only confirming crushing blows because you have this setting turned on. For her other crushing blow setups that we'll cover after bionic punch, it is fine to have this on. It makes it easier to practice so you don't have to set up the elbow every single time you want to do the combo. But specifically for her bionic punch setups, I would leave this setting off. Now let's cover some of them. Now in her first round KO variation, we can actually take advantage of her clinch to set up the exact amount of spacing that we need for her bionic punch crushing blow. And I want to show you what that looks like now. So let's say you have your opponent in a combo, you confirm it into clinch. Out of clinch, you have 2 different enders that are not the elbow, and those are the 2 we're going to be looking at. And they're both going to have the same problem and be solved with the same solution. For example, let's say we land the clinch and we end in knees, and we want to get a crushing blow here from bionic punch. As you can see, it looks like our opponent is about at max range to get hit with the move. But as you can see, if I go for it here, I am just a hair short of being able to hit Devora and confirm. However, let's look at the scenario again and change one difference about the way that we approach. So naturally, the easiest thing to think would be, okay, if I can step in, I can close that gap that I'd had before and then confirm. But as you see, I just stepped in and it was not enough. You might also run into the issue of stepping in too close. Let's say you do a full dash up to your opponent. Well, now you're way too close. That's not going to hit. Let's say you do the same thing, but again, you step just a tad too short. You're still not going to reach. So the easiest way to guarantee that you have the perfect spacing is to use the most favored mid Jacqui has in her arsenal, which is her forward 3. Forward 3 is a very strong tool for her because it's one of her fastest mids. It leads into cancel strings for her. You can confirm it into damage. And on top of all of that, you can use it as a spacing tool to guarantee bionic dash out of clinch. For example, let's use the clinch. Let's end with the knees. From exactly where we're standing, we're going to press forward 3. Then we're going to bionic punch, and we're going to guarantee crushing blow. You have the same issue with doing it out of her suplex. So let's say again, you get the opponent in the clinch, you go for suplex, you're a tad bit too short. Instead of playing the guessing game of trying to set up the spacing, we're going to use the forward 3 as a spacing tool and guarantee the crushing blow. Now there is a downside to this that you want to be aware of, which is that this move is a high. So if your opponent reads that you're going for the move, as you see when it hits here, it registers high, they can just crouch duck it, hit down 2, and that's a free guaranteed punish crushing blow for them. That will look something like this. That there is something you're going to want to avoid. But if they don't know it's coming, it's a tool you have access to, and it's important to know how to space it. You can also use it generally just to get an idea of exactly how far you need to be exactly to hit the move at max range from distance. And then kind of use this spacing tool to help you figure out later how far you're going to need to be when you're playing a dodge projectile game and trying to approach honestly, to know where the space is to confirm the crushing blow. So it's a great way to just get a kind of like eyeball measurement of how far you need to be, and to guarantee the crushing blow on players who aren't aware that they need to duck when you're at that distance. Jacqui Briggs can also confirm her bionic dash setup off of her forward 2. Now usually this forward 2 move is always going to be used as a Shoryuken. In a lot of combo videos, you will see this used as combo extension, especially in her second variation, where they're going to double up on it because they don't have access to the clinch. Regardless, you can actually stop the move short and then try to special cancel out of it. The timing is a little bit tight, so you're going to want to be aware of it. But if you do manage to land it, that is a 25, or if you want to round up, 26% confirm into the crushing blow. Now, this isn't one I would go for all the time, basically because if the move gets blocked, you are in a great amount of recovery. If the move hits, obviously the opponent will go far away. So at least even if you mess up the move and you don't get it, you're still kind of on top of them, but you are at risk for them using a wake up attack. You are at risk of the move not coming out at all, getting like just a standing 2 and then being stuck here anyway. And that range will not crushing blow. But as you can see, we ran into a similar issue, which we're going to look at here. You can use this move, do a slight step in, which is a little harder, and then get the crushing blow. So it is, again, a tool to space it out, but it's not one of the ones I would try to use most often. One of the last tools that she has access to raw confirm into her bionic dash is actually her back 2-2 string. It's a very strong string. It's a string you're going to be using a lot during your matches to play with your opponent and kind of force your way in. You can always stop here and confirm if you want to take that risk. If not, if you're playing the projectile game and you have your opponent close to the corner, this is a tool to push them closer in it and buy you some time to approach again, to stop their zoning if you can call them pressing a button. And it is a strong whiff punish given the range of the move and the ability to confirm it into more damage. If you purposefully miss the first move and only connect with the second, you can actually confirm the second hit into bionic dash to crushing blow again. That will look something like this. You'll see that will confirm into 29% damage, 28 if you don't want to round it up, and is another strong tool to confirm into bionic dash, and is one you can actually confirm pretty easily as long as you are a step away from landing the first punch. Now for this stage of the video, I have turned easy crushing blows back on because you don't want to spend the entire time practicing these combos, going through all of your clinch enders just to be able to set up the elbow that you're going to need for these combo extensions. But you want to keep in mind that the elbow will need to be cooked up in live matches, or else these double confirms will not work, aside from one that we'll cover first. Now again, Jacqui has a 3-3 string, as we mentioned before. On counter hit, it will give extra damage and pop up and allow combo extension. As you can see here, I can register that the moved hit and begin getting my extra damage in. This is another tool you can use to confirm bionic punch into crushing blow, but there is a bit of timing to it. If you do it correctly, it will look something like this. And as you see, that will net you 47% damage. If you do it incorrectly, you will either miss the first kick completely and the move will whiff, or you'll hit the opponent too late, they'll be too close to the floor, and the bionic dash won't reach. So that is a combo setup that you can actually practice without having to have easy crushing blows on. The way that I would recommend doing it personally is to go into your practice options, turn your easy crushing blows off, go into your AI options, and give them a get up attack of just a throw, and to punish them with the counter 3-3 on blow. So I would sweep them, counter hit them, check the timing and make sure it connects. And that, of course, as you saw, was with crushing blow off. Now again, this counter 3-3 string, as we showed before, gives extra combo extension and can actually confirm into clinch again if you have it cooked up. You can use the clinch as a double crushing blow, so you get extra damage, and when you're done with the whole string, that will net you a 57% punish, and mind you, that is off hitting 3-3 as a punish anyway. So this is a great tool to pressure your opponent into not wanting to make a mistake, given that you've shown them, listen, if you mess up and I hit you with 3-3, that is a 57% damage mistake you just made. They're not going to want to make that mistake again. And in Combat League, they have to play you 2 out of 3 sets, which means they're going to know that you have access to that tool for another set. they're going to be scared of it, and you want to instill that fear in them. It's very important as a Jacqui player to make your opponent afraid to press buttons to allow you to come in with your string cancel pressure when they start turtling on you. You can get a similar effect if you manage to get a down 2 counter hit, which will look something like this. As you can see, the rest of the combo is exactly the same. And will still get you 55%, which is pretty darn close to the 57% that you got off of the 3-3 string. The other important thing to note here is this does mean that you have access to a combination of 2 different 50% double crushing blow setups with Jacqui Briggs. You can manage to save one for one round, save one for the other. You can 3-3 into forward 4-4 into bionic punch as one combo, and then use down 2 into clinch as a second combo, 3-3 into clinch as your first combo, and then use down 2 into forward 4-4 into bionic punch, which will also work. Though it will net you slightly less damage at 44%, but you have access to a combination of double crushing blow setups, as well as options to set up crushing blows on their own. So of course 3-3 on counter hit is strong enough. There are spacing tools to guarantee the back forward 2, and there are 2 separate double crushing blow setups that can both be used in the same match that will give you a great life lead or a great comeback mechanic. Either of them confirmed into fatal blow will net a meds damage that will be close to 65 to 70%. That would look something like this. And if you think 65% isn't scary to get hit with, you haven't been hit with a 65% combo before. Now I figured since my last video that I posted showed great damage that Garrus could do and made him look like a very strong character, it would only be fair to, in this video, give you an example of one of the ways that you can set up these double crushing blow setups in matches, and 2, show one of Garrus' weaknesses at the same time to even the playing field so you guys don't get too intimidated by certain top tier characters. Now to practice this setup, you're going to want to record Garrus as an AI doing his forward 2-1-2 string. It's one of his safe mid strings, but the problem with it is that it is actually not true, meaning that the second mid is not actually a true mid. There are different ways that a plethora of the cast can avoid this move, and Jacqui Briggs has one of the strongest answers, since she can avoid the move if you see it coming and confirm it into a 3-3, which will give her her double crushing blow setup. For example, there is a gap between the second and third hit that actually allows you to avoid the move. If you see here, when I get hit with the first move, I can actually backdash right out of the way. This will not only give me access to a punish, but will give me access to a flawless block if you manage to learn the timing. That will let you punish Garrus back for doing the string. One of the stronger options is to actually use her 3-3 to just straight punish him out of the string, guarantee your crushing blow, and go for one of your double crushing blow setups. That would look something like this. And as you see, there's that 57% damage again. Of course, if you don't have access to that, there is always the 4 forward back forward 2 string that we discussed before, which would look something like this. Which means that is a crushing blow you can guarantee all of the time. That opening also gives you access to just being able to raw punish the string with some moves on its own. Again, of course, if you have elbow cooked up, you've got some pretty strong punish options. So these are options that you're going to want to lab for yourself. Get used to getting yourself out and away from the string. When you get used to it, it's actually not that hard to confirm it. It's a pretty easy counter to go for, and it's a great one to take advantage of to scare Garrus players from using this string. Once you start punishing it enough times, they're going to start getting used to the idea that you have easy punishes on it, and you can pretty much punish it with anything once you've backdashed away. As you see here, I can confirm it's a full combo punish and really maximize the damage that I'm going to get off of him. So once you get used to that timing in the string, he's pretty much open for punishment, and you can choose exactly which one you want to go for. Be creative, lab it all out. Let me know in the comments if you find any that I haven't found personally. My name is Kevin, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.